Okay, so this is a house that appears to me to have been built around the time of the 1906 earthquake. So based on the architecture, it's 100 to 110 years old. I'm just looking at the front elevation, and when I see the framing and some of the other installations, I may be able to identify the date more clearly. Walking down the hill, I could see the composition shingles on the uphill slope of the building, and they appear to me to be about 10 years old. They look to be in pretty good condition. I walked down the hill a little further and looked back up at the shingles, and they look the same on the other side. So it seems pretty clear to me that we have a roof that's about 10 years old, and it should provide good function for the next 10 years or so. I haven't seen the back of it yet, and there may be more issues with the back, but based on what I can see so far, there should be at least 10 years of roof left.
What's the replacement cost of that?
Well, I'm not sure because I haven't seen
The other
how
side.
far back it goes.
Okay.
But when I see how far back it goes, I'll know better. My first impression with the building is that the outside elevation is in need of paint. The most important thing on a building is keeping it dry. And paint is more than just a way to create color. It's a way to protect the surfaces so that the surfaces don't absorb water in a way that can damage the materials that are below the paint. So this should be painted within the next year or so. And when I see more of the building, I'll be able to get a sense of what the cost of that is. The windows on the front elevation of the building are single glazed aluminum windows. They look like they're 35 years old. And that's about all the life that one could expect out of them. They should be replaced as soon as you can, and the Department of Planning in San Francisco requires that you replace them with double glazed wood windows on the front elevation of the building. Double glazed wood windows are the most expensive window installation that you can do. But what the city is concerned with is maintaining the integrity of the architecture. So they want wood windows back where wood windows originally existed. I think it's probably a good time to go inside the building and take a look at those things on the lower floor first, because at that level we may be able to see some of the installations that contribute to the support of the building. I can see a little bit of the foundation under the entry stairs and at both sides of the garage, and the little bit I can see indicates that it is newer than original, and if I could see more, I'll get a better understanding of what the age of the foundation may be. Okay, there's one electric meter, and then under the stairs there's one gas meter. Those installations of one gas meter and one electric meter cause me to think that the Department of Building Inspection is thinking of this as one unit, one single family unit. The PG&E, the utility that supplies the electric meters and the gas meters, can only supply the number that the Department of Building Inspection would allow. So if this were legally being used as two units, what I'd expect that we would see is two electric meters and two gas meters. And when we go further in the building, I should see the sub-panel for the electric system, and I'm inclined to think we'll only see one because of the 1 meter here. So it seems to me, without regard to what planning is saying about the habitability of the building, it seems to me that the Department of Building Inspection thinks of it as a single-family home, and I'm inclined to think that
That's what we should go by.
that's what the legal use of the building should be.
Yeah, so converting this into a 2-unit building is probably going to be difficult.
I think a review of the records would be important. Seeing the 3R report and the tax report could shed light on that. It's not a good thing to guess about.
Okay, great. So we're going now into the foundation.
Okay. Different stuff. All looks to be less than 50 years old.
So you're rolling. Feel free to elaborate.
I'm looking at I'm standing at the rear lower level of the building, looking at the perimeter foundation and the intermediate support system, and actually it looks pretty good. It doesn't look like there's any significant support issues with the building. Most of the foundation appears to be reinforced concrete, and a lot of the framing has been upgraded. So, pretty decent. The furnace is a 35-year-old 4-stair furnace. I've seen them last 50 years, but that's pretty rare. So I think one of the things you should consider is a new furnace. And the water heater looks pretty recent, so the water heater is probably okay. But a new heating system. You should probably figure about $10,000 for a new heating.
Because it needs a new ducting too?
Yeah.
The ducting, is it asbestos?
Well, it's not asbestos. But
Not
it's
this one, the other side.
But it's mostly duct tape.
Yeah, I see
And,
that.
probably recognize that's not such a good thing.
What about this side? This is not asbestos?
Well, it's undersized.
Okay,
You need a larger diameter, 12-inch diameter. This big diameter here, this is the cold air return. Cold air flows down into the furnace for heating, needs 12-inch diameter to get a greater volume of air to move through the system.
I think that this heater is just being used for the lower level. When we go upstairs, you can see it. I saw a wall heater up there, so it could be just they're using this on the lower level.
Maybe.
Okay. One thing that was here, Bill, underneath this, the toilet there was
Is this where that rot was?
yeah. If you could go in there and
Yeah.